This morning we are cutting out the passenger side front engine cradle mount parts. Took a 6x6 quarter-inch thick piece of plate steel, marked out our pieces, and I've been using a 4-inch angle grinder to slice them out. And then I'm going to take the last little tidbit that's left of the huge front end here, square them off into about a 1.5 by 2 inch wide rectangle. Now it's going to fit down here into the bottom for the bolt to run. Oops, not paying attention to where the camera is. It's going to weld down into here for the bolt to come up through, and that'll form our channel for our bolt to lock into. I'll show you how that's going as we move along. So we started out this process by cutting a piece of cardboard out of a big box, and then determining our shape by cutting up the cardboard. So there's our basic plate, and then transferring it over onto the steel to cut out the other plate. Relatively simple, standard fabrication process on making your own parts. So not wanting to bore everybody with the time-lapse photos of long processes, here is the motor mount now that it is all welded together. Wanted to box the backside to make it a little bit stronger for lateral movement, but also leave that bottom open so that you can have a wrench go in from either side depending on which way is the best access. And we'll cool this thing off and then take it over and show you how it fits on. So we've got our large bolt up through the engine cradle and into our new mount to hold it in place. You can see how that's seated up underneath there. Butts along the bottom of the rail, all along through there. That'll all get welded both inside and out once we get it on there. And then up over to this side, and you can see, so we got access now. This is why I left this, so you could get a wrench in this way. We can drop a socket straight down through here, and we can even come in with a wrench through this side. And we're gonna weld both of these up both sides and around as well to lock that bad boy right where it's gonna be. So a little arrow pointing right where it should have been. Yep, exactly like that. So now I'm going to bring the welder in here. We're going to tack this thing in place in 4 or so spots so it doesn't shift. Unbolt it. Take the whole frame rail off of the buggy here and carry it out to the bench and weld it all in place. Then we'll bring it back and hook it all together. Show you all that next. Alright, so there it is. Got it tacked in place. Now we're going to go ahead and do the 4 sides, weld it all on solid, and then we will have our completed passenger side frame rail. Then we'll turn our attention to the driver's side. So watch me weld next. Here's your closer look there. Pretty good run. All the way around both sides. Nice and solid. I'm gonna go cool it off a little bit. And bring her in and hook it back up. Make sure everything fits nice and solid. Last part here on the passenger side frame rail that we're building is this engine mount. So we're using the stock engine mount, and we're just going to make a set of plates for these to just bolt into simply. It's not going to be anything exciting. It's really not doing anything but stopping vibration, so it doesn't have to be as heavy as, say, like the mount for the main cradles or the front end. So we're actually going to use a section of tubing that we cut off. And that's this piece here. And we're going to notch it right there and then flip it over and weld it directly onto the frame rail. And then where the clamp is we'll drill a hole through that side for the bolt to go in. So this is actually upside down so we can cut the notch out. So that's where we're going next. So let's see how we did here. This piece will fit in like that. I'll get it slid in here and see how it's going to fit. And I'll show you in a second. And there you have it. Fit in now. And lock in just like that. The bolt will go right through there. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side for the other bolt on that side. So there'll be two of these sitting here, just like that. One there, one there. Get that next one built, fit in, drilled, then we'll tack weld them in place and get them ready to go here. Engine mounts, welded in place. These are lighter steel and not really holding so much, so I'm only doing the outside welds. I'm not going to weld the inside. It seems like too much in excess. Plus it's really tough to reach in there, so forget it. Just be enough to hold them in place and keep them locked in. And that, I believe, is the last bit and piece of the passenger side frame rail. Got engine mount, got cradle mount, got front mount. Everything's all locked. I do still want to cap the front end, so I've got to get a plate for capping that front end, and that'll happen at some point down the line. Now to mount it back in the car. There it is. I think other than capping that end, we are settled. Got our engine mounts built. Those are two pieces for the engine mount to hook into. Got our cradle mount on this side. So we got one more hole to bore through the back corner back here in that spot. And then we've got to swap some bolts. I'm going to replace the two bolts that are in here, and I actually want to replace the bolt down there in the cradle. Otherwise, everything else is good. And we're solid and ready to go. Next time I'll take it out, I will spray it down with some self-etching primer so that it won't rust up. And this piece is complete. There's one frame rail done. Now we got to get to work on this other frame rail and get it done. And then we will be solidly installed. Till next time, have a good day.